New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Good evening, and welcome to the Miracle of Prosperity here on the New Thought Media Network. I'm your host, the Reverend Dr. Jim Webb. I'm the author of the book, The Soul of Prosperity, as well as a number of other books, including Prosperity from A to Z, 30 P's for Prosperity, Forgive Your Way to Prosperity, and Create Your Self-Manifesting Vision Board. I also serve as the senior minister of the Tacoma Metaphysical Chapel in Silver Spring, Maryland, and each Sunday evening we come together and we discuss prosperity. We discuss a wide range of topics related to prosperity, so it's not just money and stuff. We might discuss spiritual prosperity, where we have the peace that passes all understanding. We might discuss professional prosperity, where we have a wonderful job with wonderful pay, where we provide a wonderful service in a wonderful way, a la Florence Scovel Shinn. We may discuss logistical prosperity, where our lives simply work with ease and things tend to work out more effortlessly than ever before. And of course, we may discuss a prosperity of resources, where we have all the resources, financial or otherwise, that we need to thrive. So we look at prosperity in a number of different ways, and we either look at ways that we can enhance our existing prosperity or ways that we can remove the blockages to the prosperity that already exists that we have yet to recognize, to realize, or to attract to ourselves. So this night, we're doing a special topic called Reiki Your Way to Prosperity. And I have a very special guest, Ifetayo White, who is a Reiki healer, a Reiki teacher, a Reiki master, and so much more. A powerfully wonderful, loving spiritual being who I've known now for decades. And I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome, Ifetayo.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Jim. It's such a joy to be here with you again.
Yes. And we want to apologize to our viewers. Last week we were here, but we had some technical difficulties. It looks like those are all worked out now. So let's get at it.
Yes.
I know something about Reiki. I had Reiki 1 training at some point 30 years ago.
Yes.
That's what I know, and that's what I do. But for our viewers, what is Reiki?
Well, to make it very simple,
Yeah.
um, Reiki is the universal life force energy that we are all, every living being on this planet is actually connected with. So when we say Reiki, and actually in Japan, Reverend Jim, Reiki is not a capital R, it's a small r. It's a
Oh, okay.
lowercase r
Mm-hmm.
because it is understood to be just that I spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
With sometimes it's called spiritual life force energy or universal life force energy in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But in the West
Mm-hmm.
and now back in Japan because the Reiki that came to the West has gone back to Japan with a capital
Yes.
R. It has
Yes.
a system of
Uh-huh.
healing.
Uh-huh.
So a person who practices Reiki and shares
Uh-huh.
Reiki has
Uh-huh.
been attuned
Mm-hmm.
to connect with, receive, connect with, carry, hold, and share more of this universal life force energy. Um,
Okay.
yes, to be able to balance out anything that is out of balance um, in oneself and with others.
So this universal life force energy that
Yes,
balances things. If
yes,
our emotions are out of balance because we are not aware of love's presence, this universal life force can support us in retaining emotional balance.
absolutely. When we I when I became Reiki 30 years ago, also,
Mhm.
my the focus was much more on the physical,
Yeah.
physical healing, physical balancing. We
Mhm.
have learned, and we've just grown in
Yeah.
30 years, and more than 30 years, actually, since Reiki came through Master Yusui. It's been
Mhm.
100 years, a little more than 100 years. The
Yes.
understanding of energy and
Yeah.
understanding that Reiki and other healing, energy healing modalities can also balance emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, because we are spiritual, energetic beings in,
Mhm.
in a physical embodiment.
Okay. So Reiki is much more than just let me Reiki you because you're not feeling
Yes,
well physically.
yes,
It's
yes,
overall energy, which of course impacts us physically, emotionally, and in every other way. Is that accurate?
absolutely. And it's
Okay.
so much more simple than we might have been led to believe. It's very
Hmm.
simple when we understand ourselves and the
Hmm.
universe and all everything that is alive as energy beings, as spiritual
Mm.
energy beings, then we can understand that this Reiki can
Hmm.
affect every aspect of energy.
Okay. So is it safe to say then that our energy affects our physicality, affects our finances, affects our relationships, affects our professional accomplishments, achievements, motivations, and focus? And
Yes,
so if this energy can balance us, it can
yes,
balance all aspects of us. Is that
yes,
accurate?
absolutely. Because everything you just mentioned can either be in balance or out of balance.
Yes.
Because if we are living in lack or illness or confusion, that is an outpicturing of
Hmm.
imbalance.
Hmm.
So, and so that's energetic. You can't
Yeah.
see it, but there is the aspects of being that would be whole and resonant in balance or for some reason are not. So
Okay.
yes,
So Reiki can change, heal, transform, and uplift our lives. So we can Reiki our way to
absolutely,
prosperity. Is that accurate?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And
love.
you, go
Yes,
ahead. You go
no,
ahead.
I was going to say I love that you brought this forward because it um and in this day and age, with folks
Mhm.
being very afraid of what's
Mhm.
going on with the economy, or what's going on in the world,
Mhm.
um, fear is a way that our emotions are not in balance. Okay.
Yeah.
And so Reiki is a tool for those who practice Reiki, who are already attuned Reiki, to share Reiki with themselves to bring that balance back.
Mhm.
And if you are not attuned Reiki, to invite someone who is attuned Reiki to
Mhm.
support you in returning to that balance.
Yes.
Yes.
So Reiki is a tool for returning to the balance that allows prosperity in every aspect of your life. For where
Yes.
there is imbalance, it is less likely or possible that you can allow prosperity. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
And what I noticed was that you just wrote a book talking about how
Yes.
Reiki has changed so many lives.
So that tickled me the way you said you just noticed that. Yes, I did. Uh, in my 80th year of life, I gave
Yes,
birth to a book. In October was the release date. And so we're yes, almost to the day, 2 months in, um,
yes,
to this beautiful birth of a Reiki book entitled Reiki Heart and Soul.
yes,
Many stories, one bright light. Yes.
yes. And that's what uh, alerted me to the idea that Reiki is a powerful pathway to prosperity. Because when I read the stories of the people
Mhm.
and how they used Reiki and how
Yes.
Reiki changed their lives, it
Yes.
gave me a differing perspective on
Mhm.
Reiki, a broader perspective on Reiki,
Yes.
and
Yes.
a more powerful way to apply Reiki. Now,
Mhm.
you had an awakening like that too. Friends,
Franz Steiner,
can you
who
tell us about your awakening?
absolutely.
Yes.
Franz Steiner is my second Reiki master, Reiki
Mhm,
3 teacher.
mhm,
And I met him in 2018
mhm,
at the Omega Institute. But I manifested Franz
mhm,
because after being attuned to Reiki in 1995 and
mhm,
practicing for um, 20 years, then
mhm.
at that point,
Yes,
I really was feeling that there was something missing for me, and
yes.
I couldn't put my hands on it.
Mhm,
There were and it wasn't even in the forms of question, Reverend Jim. It was just a
mhm.
feeling. And
Yeah.
I am a spiritual being. I've always been a spiritual person. And
Mhm,
um, there was some way that my practice in Reiki, which I had full-time practice all the
mhm,
time, I
mhm,
still wasn't a feeling the connection. It felt like something was missing. So a friend of mine, one of my Reiki students, gifted me a book called The Inner Heart of Reiki, which was
mhm.
written by Franz Steiner. And once I read that book, I knew all my questions were answered. And
Mm,
um, and I knew that I had found my teacher.
mhm,
So Franz, in this particular book, and Franz's way, he has brought to many of us who are his students, as well as other teachers who began to journey to Japan
mhm,
to really study,
mhm,
investigate, and study
mhm,
the life of Master Yusui,
mhm,
the Buddhist monk through which
mhm,
this practice came, and
mhm,
what were his practices? What was he doing? How
mhm,
did he live with Reiki? So
mhm,
we have been able to receive now so much information
mhm.
about the original lineage of Reiki and the original
Okay,
practices of Reiki. So
okay.
Franz was one of those folks who did. I think it's been for 12 or 13 years now going
Mhm,
to Japan. He has a teacher there, but he
mhm.
has brought forth for us the more spiritual aspects of Reiki because
Okay.
Master Yusui was a monk, a Buddhist monk.
Mhm,
And even though one does not need to be Buddhist. Franz is not. I am not
Mhm.
really. But
Yeah.
there, as you know, there are some universal principles that
Yes.
go across all spiritual paths,
Mhm.
and so he brought to me the inner life of Reiki.
Okay. So there
Living,
was a before where Reiki was simply this tool that you used to
yes,
heal, mostly physical. And then
yes,
there was the after where
yes,
you realized Reiki was something else and
yes,
something more. What
yes,
was the after and how
yes.
did that affect your life?
For me, the after was a deeper realization that Reiki is a tool. It is a connection, actually.
Mhm.
Being Reiki is a connection with my true self, with the
Okay.
divinity that I am,
Yes.
because the universal life force energy is that the energy that is keeping
Mhm.
everything alive here. It is a pure
Mm,
creative energy. And
mm.
that's what Reiki is. And so the realizing that oneness, that Reiki is not something outside here that we do, that we channel this energy and then we share it. We are it. Once we are,
Reiki is who you are. The universal life force, the universal love force,
yeah,
the universal creative force is not
yeah,
something that you channel, not a toy, not an
yes,
avocation, not a hobby. It
yeah,
is who you are. And when
yeah,
you recognize yourself as that, as the
yes,
universal life force, as the universal love force,
yes,
as the universal creative force, as creation itself,
yes,
it
absolutely.
changes. Is that what
A-
I'm hearing?
That's what happened to me. That is
Okay.
exactly what you're hearing. And because I always knew intellectually, I am
Hmm.
made in the image and likeness of the divine. But
Hmm.
once I really got, because of Reiki, because that's what
Hmm.
I have been practicing and
Yes.
sharing for so many years. And Franz's work takes you deeper into that,
Yes.
knowing that I am made in the image and likeness of the divine, and I am divine. And
Yeah.
so is this universal life force energy. Therefore, we cannot be separated. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, you just hit it on the head. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen in our audience, that is the key to
Yes.
how we can Reiki ourselves to prosperity
Yes.
by understanding that Reiki is not a tool, a hobby, an avocation, something that you do, or something that you play with every once in a while.
Yes. Yes.
Reiki is the life force with the life force with
Yes.
which you are one. It is,
Yes.
as A Course in Miracles says, it is creation itself.
Yes.
And you are
Absolutely.
one with creation itself. And
Yes.
as you channel that creative energy in the
Yeah.
forms that bring you or reflect happiness, joy, peace, and light,
Yes.
Reiki is prosperity. Am I
Absolutely.
hearing that?
Absolutely. You did it. I love it. It makes me so excited to hear you speak the truth of what I'm sharing, because you just are saying it so perfectly and beautifully. And it's exciting to me because it's so simple. And
Yes.
I would love to say that for anyone who has been attuned Reiki a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and have not have said, okay, well, I'm attuned Reiki, but I don't really practice Reiki. Once we are attuned Reiki, we are Reiki,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and it is a matter of intention. We don't have to do much more than say, I
Yes.
intend to be Reiki. I
Yeah.
intend to bring my Reiki forward. It's so simple to realign with the light that we are, to realign
Mm,
with the divinity that we are through this
yes.
practice. And
Beautiful.
one more piece I want to say, Reverend
Yes.
Jim, we all, when we first became Reiki,
Hmm.
we were given the 5 precepts of Reiki. Now,
Okay.
some of us just put them away, which is what I did
Mhm.
initially. I got
Yes.
them. I felt really guilty because I was like, oh, just for today, I will not be angry. Well, that's not happening. So I put them away. But
Yes.
what I want to bring forward is that those precepts are tools towards prosperity also, because
Mm,
once we align ourselves with the statements of just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will be thankful and grateful for all my many blessings. Just for today, I will be true to my way and do what I'm here to do. Just for today, I will show compassion for myself and all living beings. So if we say those precepts every day, even if we don't consciously connect with those words are energetic. They're not just words. They were given to us from Master Yusui specifically to practice, because they will change our mindsets. They will change our consciousness. So as you can see from what I said, if we said every day, just for today, I will be grateful for all my many blessings, you can see how transformative that statement could be for our lives. If we said every day, just for today, I will be true to my way and do what I'm here to do. That is an invitation for the universe to bring to us everything we need to be true to our way and to do what we're here to do. So, as you can see, I'm very excited because this is my passion.
I love your excitement.
Thank you.
Yes. So we see how we can Reiki our way to prosperity.
Yes.
Now, in your book, there are many stories of this that are illustrative for our viewers. So we're going to go to break right now. But when we come back, we're going to discuss some of those stories of how they used Reiki to actually enhance their prosperity. So we'll be right back and we'll discuss that here.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
What would Louise say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
And we're back here on the Miracle of Prosperity on the New Thought Media Network with my special guest tonight, Ifetayo White, author of the book. And Ifetayo, if you want to hold up a copy of the book, you can.
Yes.
It's all right. Reiki Heart and Soul.
There you go.
And the reason that this book caused me to realize that we can Reiki our way to prosperity is when reading this book, which I loved, by the way. When
Thank you.
reading this book, I saw all these stories about how people used Reiki, as you said, Ifetayo. They used it not just as a tool, a hobby, or an avocation, but they used it as a life approach for healing, transforming, and uplifting their lives. I was especially moved by the story of, I call him in my mind the Bosnian, because he was from Eastern Europe, and how
Yes,
he used Reiki to heal his life through some very challenging times. Do you want
yes,
to say a few words about that as an example of how
abs-
we can Reiki our way to prosperity?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and Boschko, who is one of my friends and lives in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, that was his beautiful story, and he is Bosnian. His mother actually was still in Bosnia when he moved here, and she always lived in Bosnia. But
Mhm,
um, it- they had a very complex relationship, and she had some mental health and addiction problems,
mhm,
and he is a devoted son. She's passed since then, but when he became Reiki, their relationship was very challenging and pretty fractured. As a matter of fact, she was still in Europe and he was here. But as the only child, her only child, um,
mhm,
he was responsible for a great part of her life. So his
mhm,
story is his journey from the time he became Reiki and the transformation that occurred for him in himself spiritually,
mhm,
emotionally, and
mhm,
mentally,
mhm,
and his relationship with his mother. So that you have to read the whole story because I could tell you the whole story. But by the time she passed,
mhm,
everything had transformed for him in his capacity to hold his mother in compassion and understanding of her own life journey that would have her be the way that she was in her life. So the love that he felt for her and could express to her is so beautiful. His story of transformation, and he ends his story with a letter from his
mhm.
grandfather. I don't know if you remember that, but he found the letter when his
Yes.
mother passed, and he went back to Bosnia that his grandfather had written some time ago. Who he appeared to have been a New Thought thinker back in his
Mhm.
day from
Yes.
the advice that he shared with Boschko about life
Mhm.
and and being on a positive path. So yes, that his was is it's a beautiful story, and I'm grateful that he's a part of my greater Reiki community.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. That was one of the many beautiful stories. And I loved that story because one of the areas of prosperity
yeah,
that we all yearn to experience is relationship prosperity.
yes, yes,
And Reiki is simply the universal love. And
yes.
when we allow it to touch us, and when we allow it to move through us, and we allow ourselves to be Reiki, we allow ourselves to be universal love.
Thank
And
you.
when we allow ourselves to be universal love, that is the what we seek and yearn in relationships. And it must be reflected to us. So his healing was
Mhm.
his reunion with
Yes.
universal love through
Thank
Reiki.
you. Beautiful, beautifully spoken. Yes,
And
beautifully spoken. Thank you.
that's why that story spoke to me. Now,
Yes.
last week you mentioned another story in the book that you felt was indicative of how we can Reiki our way to prosperity. Do you want to share some in-
Yes.
insights on that?
Yes. Well, we both know Gwendolyn Mitchell from
Yes.
back in the day. So
Yes.
Gwendolyn was a part of my community in the 80s in DC at the Unity Center of Truth in the nation's capital,
Yes.
where the first Reiki teacher appeared and began to teach some of those of the folks who were members of our church. Gwendolyn actually is the first African American Reiki master in America. And at that time, the fee for instruction and attunement was $10,000. And it still is on some lineages. Most lineages are not charging that much now, but that was the fee at that time. And so Gwen's story is that she was looking, when she decided to become a Reiki teacher, she had considered other teachers who were less costly in instruction, but her spirit said to her, this is your teacher, this is your teacher. And that teacher charged $10,000 for Reiki to become a Reiki teacher. And because of Gwen was already a Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 practitioner, she just continued with her practices and her faith. She said she had in her human mind thought that it would take several years for her to be able to save up that amount of money. She was still married at the time, and she felt that between her husband and herself, it would take several years for her to be able to have that money at her disposal. Well, because of her Reiki practice and changing, when she wasn't even aware she was being changed, then what happened for Gwen was that within months, she manifested her $10,000 from some resources that she had not been aware of in her life, that had already been accumulating. So the energy of Reiki was working in supporting her to bring forward what her deepest desires were. And so that was a big breakthrough for Gwen and her life. So that's one of the many, many stories of financial breakthroughs. I have a daughter. I have two daughters, but my older daughter was a freelance filmmaker, and I remember she is attuned Reiki 1, and unlike myself and my daughter Jamila, she does not teach Reiki. She's a filmmaker, and so she said to me, "Mom, I share Reiki with my mailbox so that my checks will come in," because she was a freelancer, so she didn't have a regular salary. She got paid when, and that's how for her, that was, why not? That made sense.
Why not? Right.
Why not let Reiki expand the possibilities of how your good is to come to you? So there are stories after stories, and she's not in the book, but I just wanted to tag her on to Gwen's story. That was such a powerful story of financial. Then we have many stories of physical health manifestations, which of course is prosperity also, because that again is, to me, prosperity is balance and ease. And so many stories of physical prosperity of those folks who shared in this Reiki book. Yes.
Well, I love the book, and I would recommend it highly.
Thank you much. Thank you.
And so our members of our audience may have some questions, and let us know you're here, folks. Be sure to type in the chat. So we're going to go to break. And when we return, we're going to answer your questions and do a final wrap up on how we can Reiki our way to prosperity here on the New Thought Media Network.
What if the person you think you are is just a fraction of who you truly are? What if years of conditioning and surviving in a challenging world have left you clinging to strategies and beliefs that mask your truest nature? I'm Catherine Duca, psychotherapist and self-esteem coach, and you're listening to Who Do You Think You Are? A show that looks beneath our psychological masks and uncovers our profoundly messy, beautiful, brilliant, tender-hearted essence. Join me as we go in search of the hidden power of our true selves. I'm so glad you're here.
And we're back here on the New Thought Media Network, the Miracle of Prosperity, and we are talking about Reiki, Your Way to Prosperity, with Ifetayo White, author of a new book on Reiki. And so we've got a couple of fascinating questions. First, we've got Rosabella. She has a question about how we can, I can't read it without my glasses, so thank you for bringing it up, our producer, Michael. How can we Reiki our way to abundant peace, love, and joy in 2026?
Awesome. It's a beautiful question.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if Isabella is a Reiki practitioner or not, because I would answer this question in two ways. If one is a Reiki practitioner, then the simplest response is give yourself Reiki every day. Make sure that you are sharing Reiki with yourself every day to bring harmony, peace, balance to yourself. All of those aspects that we want to bring into the world or see in the world, we should cultivate those in ourselves first by giving ourselves Reiki, also by reciting the precepts. As I mentioned earlier, just for today, I will not be angry. All of those precepts will contribute to, again, to our cultivating those aspects that we want to see in the world, in ourselves. If we are not Reiki attuned, then we can receive Reiki from those who are Reiki attuned to help bring balance back to ourselves, so that we are living in peace, so that we bring our emotions and our feelings, so that we eliminate trauma memories that we have in ourselves. Reiki can help with all of that, so that we are the peace, we are the joy, we are the love that we want to see in the world. We can also, as Reiki practitioners and those who are not Reiki practitioners, with our intention, share peace, love, joy with the world. Prayer, all of these energy ways add to the pool of love, joy, peace that we want to see and experience in the world.
I love what you said, Ifetayo, and I want to underline one thing that you said, and that is whatever it is that you want to experience more of, share it with others.
Yes.
Because we are an endless source of the love, light, and good of God. We don't realize it. We often think we're blocked. We often think we're limited.
Mm-hmm.
But if we, what is it that we choose to experience? Well, you already have it and you don't know it. But if you share it, you create a conduit for even more of it to flow to you or through you. So one of the things that you said that I really love and want to emphasize is whatever it is you want to experience, share it with others.
Yes. Yes.
And the part of you that doesn't even realize it was in you becomes stronger and a more powerful and voluminous conduit for it. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had another question as well from Mignon. Yes. Can one use the art of Reiki to determine when they are out of alignment and undermining their best?
I believe you can. I actually believe you can. Um, when we can feel, actually, if you, and it sounds as though you are a Reiki practitioner, Mignon, when you share Reiki with yourself, you will feel the balance returning. You will feel yourself becoming more one with your true self. And because you can feel that, you will also be able to determine the imbalance. It becomes, if you understand, and I think you do, Reverend Jim is saying yes, because it, once you can feel peace, then you can more easily distinguish when you are not being peaceful.
Yes.
When you can feel free of worry, peaceful, free of worry, carefree about how you are going to be one with your prosperity, then it's more, you can more easily recognize when you are in worry and fear, and what you are focused on grows. So you want to be able to determine, ah, I am feeling more peaceful and at ease and joyful about this prospect, even though I can't see how it's going to happen. So we do
Yes.
want to cultivate those feelings, and cultivating those feelings often means that we become more aware when we are not living in the presence of those beautiful emotions and feelings.
Yes. And you know what else popped into my head, Ifetayo,
Yeah.
around that? That is that our inner saboteurs are the aspects of ourselves that undermine our best. The unmet needs of the inner child,
Yes.
the aspect of us that is in inner fear or inner worry, inner doubt, inner shame. And as we apply Reiki to ourselves,
Mhm.
we apply Reiki to those inner saboteurs. And when
Absolutely.
those inner saboteurs receive Reiki, they are brought back into balance. The inner child that didn't feel loved and
Yes.
acts out as an inner child having a tantrum that sabotages its career,
Yes.
that inner child feels the love it has
Yes.
yearned for, and it no longer feels the need to act out and sabotage its good.
Thank you. Absolutely. Beautifully said and shared. Yes. That's really the way it goes. That really, and nowadays folks are talking a lot about trauma memories, which the
Yes.
inner saboteur really is expresses those trauma memories. And in fact, my theory is that and which we also hear about generational trauma. This was passed on to me through my DNA.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like this. This is why I can't do
Uh-huh.
that. Well, my
Mhm.
belief is that if we were also passed on genius DNA
Yes.
and
Yes.
and
And strength
divine
DNA.
DNA. Yes,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely. So where we put our attention grows. And
Yes.
if we are Reiki and can share Reiki with ourselves to keep bringing ourselves back to those memories of our light, of who we truly are, of our perfection, then we don't really need to be worried about those saboteurs. They might
Yes.
come fleetingly and then they will leave fleetingly. We don't focus on
Yes.
them. Yes.
Beautiful. And I want to start concluding this discussion with
Mhm.
something that you just said, which is indicative of your approach and how we can Reiki our way to prosperity. You didn't say do Reiki. You said be Reiki.
Yes, I did.
Reiki with a small r, not Reiki, the capital R I had to pay and get this attunement, and I sat in this class, but
Right.
Reiki with a small r, the
Yes.
life force, the love force, the grace force, the healing force, the balancing force, the
Yes.
force of light and love. Be
Yes.
Reiki. So
Absolutely.
the way to Reiki, our way to prosperity, is to be Reiki,
Yes.
not something that you do, although it is a spiritual practice,
Yes.
but it is something that you be.
Yes.
And I love that as a way to summarize how
Yes.
we can Reiki our way to prosperity.
Oh my
So I want to
goodness.
thank you. I want to thank you. So I always love your shows. You know, of all when we go on break or something like that, and we replay or rebroadcast a show, your show is my favorite go-to to rebroadcast. And now
Thank
I have another one that will
Oh,
be
thank
my favorite go-to to rebroadcast.
thank you, Reverend Jim. I love the way that we come together. It
Yeah.
just seems to be the symbiotic understanding.
Yes.
Yes, you speak the words that I think or that I'm saying, and I'm like, he got it, and he's saying it beautifully. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for inviting me to sit in this space with you.
Oh, it's such a pleasure and such an honor. And I just love your book. If we want to put up your book one more time, and if you want to let us know how we can get additional copies of it. I think actually, dang it. Yeah, I can. I'm Amazon Prime. I can get it and give copies for Christmas. I'm going to do that.
Yes, you can. And
Yes.
if you're Amazon's having an issue with some mailing addresses, I have to warn you. But this book is also my book is also available on Barnes and Noble, BooksAMillion.com, and your local bookstore can order the book for you. I am also hosting a book launch with 4 of
Yes.
the authors in Hyattsville, Maryland.
Yes. Busboys and Poets.
Yes, December.
I'll be there with my copy.
Yes, thank you. We're going to have so much fun. So anyone who's in the area is welcome to come 3 to 6, Busboys and Poets in Hyattsville, for a Reiki happy hour and book
What is
sign.
the date of that from 3 to 6?
That is Monday, December 29th.
Monday, December 29th from 3
Yes.
to 6 at Busboys and Poets
Yes.
in Hyattsville, Maryland.
I'm so excited for everyone
Me
to meet
too.
some of the
Yes.
beautiful authors in our book. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
I will see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jim. I look forward to it.
Me too. So you're working on some wonderful stuff.
Yeah, and you too. What's up with you?
Well, I've got some good stuff cooking. I've got some new classes coming at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
One is we did a 4-week intensive called Yes, You Can Channel Too.
Oh.
And that was designed to help everybody move further along on their continuum of working with spirit, hearing spirit, feeling spirit, letting spirit work through them, letting spirit speak or be through them. So no matter where you are, these exercises and these experiences move people along. We're going to do 8 weeks of opening to channel.
Oh, wonderful.
8 weeks of opening to channel.
Yes.
That'll be on Monday nights, beginning on January 12th. And then on Thursdays, we're going to do 8 weeks of Spirit Speaks on manifesting your vision. You know, we always have New Year's resolutions. We always make new vision boards. We always get a new start. So we can ask Spirit, what must I know in order to allow this vision to grow? And we get those answers directly from Spirit. Spirit, what must I move out of the way in order to allow this vision to be made manifest? And we get those answers directly from Spirit. I will be channeling this with my guides, and they will give us the answers. And not only do we get the healing and the answers and the guidance and the support from Spirit, but we literally bathe in the collectively powerful, loving energy of the group. Because when I am healed, I am not healed alone. When the group experiences this level of healing, we all heal and are more able to manifest our vision. So those are the 2 classes that I've got going on Mondays and Thursdays, beginning in January. They're already half sold out, and we haven't even gotten to the beginning of the year yet.
Yes.
So if they are of interest to you, check them out on my website or my Facebook page or anywhere you find information on me, or text me. I will give you more information on them, and you can sign up before they sell out. And that's what I'm up to, except that I'm doing one other thing.
Oh, what is that?
I've got one other thing, and this is on January 1st. This
Okay.
thing that I'm doing on January 1st is actually an annual thing. It is spirit, it is channeled as well. And it is Spirit Speaks on Spirit's forecast for 2026 and beyond.
Mhm.
And what it is Spirit gives us an overview of world and national issues for 2026 and beyond. And then Spirit will give you your individual forecast for what you can expect in your life and how you can navigate that in 2026. So basically, it's spiritual guidance for 2026 and beyond. And that's January 1st at 7:30 to 9:30. You can text me if you want more information on that. That class is actually already 3/4 of the way sold
Oh,
out because it sells out very, very quickly. So the classes do sell out, so register sooner rather than later.
yes.
Text me if you need more information. So that's what I'm up to.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. Very
so
exciting. Yeah.
yes. So I wish you all the best in
Thank you.
2026. I will
Thank
see you before
Yes.
2026 is
Yes, you
before
shall.
2026
Yes.
to wish you that in person. Everybody else come out too. Busboys and Poets, Hyattsville, Maryland,
Yes.
December 29th, 3 to
Yes.
6 p.m.
Thank you.
And we thank you tonight for sharing your wonderful time and energy
Mhm.
with us, Ifetayo.
Thank you. Such a blessing. Thank you
My
so much,
blessing.
Reverend Jim.
God bless you. We thank our producer, Michael Mangus, and I want to thank our viewers. And we'll see you next week here on the Miracle of Prosperity on the New Thought Media Network.
Thank you.